Hello, everyone. I'm Dalton Burdett,
I'm Nick Aricchio.
and we are the Movie Nights.
Well, some of them.
Are you watching this because you want to hear our uncensored
Unfiltered.
thoughts and opinions on the world of movies? So kick back,
Relax.
and thank you for being part of the conversation. Nick, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing well, buddy. How are you?
Good, good, good. Yes, as Hannah points out here, the OG intro is back. We've been doing it for a while, and I'm glad it's back. I like the intro. And dude, I gotta say, I'm happy to see you. I have had such a long week. I've actually been really looking forward to coming to do the show. You know, there's some times in life where the show feels like work, and sometimes where it's like, this feels like where I'm supposed to be. And that's how it feels today. So good to see you.
Good to see you, buddy. What a nice note.
Yes, yes.
Starting with positive vibes here on the stream.
Yes, thank you, thank you. And by the way, if you're joining the stream live and you want to put in a little message in the live chat, like so, I can pop you up on the screen right here and make you part of the conversation, so please do so, and we'll kind of separate little times in the show to give that to you. We have a hell of a show for you guys today. We have we have 2 breaking news stories, we have other news stories, we have fun little debates to get into at the end of the show, some first looks as well. It'll be very, very exciting. First, a couple things of housekeeping. One, if you like keeping your online information protected, and if you want to watch streaming services that are in other countries that you can't get access to here, I highly recommend joining NordVPN using our affiliate link in the description below. Not only do you support the show when you sign up with it, but you also get a hell of a discount. I think it's something like 70%. It's crazy. And it's a service that I use every single day. It keeps your your information protected online, and as a movie lover, you get access to all kinds of streaming opportunities there. So please go in and click the NordVPN link and sign up. Also, if you're listening on audio only, please consider coming over to YouTube and joining the channel and subscribing. My brain is off, if you can't tell, Nicholas. And as always, guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of the conversation. Nick, are you ready to get into the show?
Let's do it.
Naturally, I want to pull up your beautiful PowerPoint because it looks great. Looks amazing. Now, like I said off the top, we got some breaking news here. 2 very important things of breaking news. Our first thing of breaking news comes to really no surprise, but kind of surprise, and I'll get to what I mean in a minute, and that is this. The Hollywood Reporter, according to the Heat Vision newsletter, is claiming that Ryan Reynolds will officially be back as Deadpool in Avengers Doomsday. And I say this is no surprise because if you do business math, Deadpool and Wolverine make over $1 billion. Put Deadpool in next movie. That seems very, very clear and like an obvious choice. However, I do want to point out that Deadline has now come out with a story saying that he's not in the movie. So the girls are fighting. And so it'll be very interesting to see who comes out on top there. But I think this is a great idea. If it's true, I'm going to choose to believe the Hollywood Reporter here. And I'm excited if this is true. I think they have a great opportunity to use him as a different fun part of the story. The newsletter also mentions that he won't be joining the Avengers team. He'll just be in the movie, which makes sense. I think in Secret Wars, we're going to be getting a ton of other people in there, which I expected him to be in. So maybe he just shows up at the end of Doomsday. We'll have to see. But I'm very excited by this news. Nick, what are your thoughts on Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool joining Avengers Doomsday?
I mean, like you said, it makes sense. The movie made $1 million or $1 billion. I'm so sorry. Put him in every project ever. It's the same thing. We're going to see Spider-Man eventually. This thing's because his movies always outperform. And this is also coming off the heels of Ryan Reynolds posting on his Instagram recently, like a little Avengers tease. So
yes,
I'm more inclined to believe this as truth than as not truth. But it also doesn't go into how expanded a role it could be. This could just be a post-credit scene cameo. It could be just a brief little appearance to show like what's going on. Maybe the fallout of the movie has something to do with multiple incursions happening, and you just cut to Deadpool being on his Earth, just like, what the hell's happening here? But I think it makes sense to definitely try to include him. They want to keep Ryan Reynolds in-house. Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool. It is just one of those comic book castings, and I hope we get to see more of him, and I think it makes sense for this to be his next appearance. If not this, then definitely in Secret Wars.
No, for sure. 100%. And again, I do choose to believe the Hollywood Reporter here. I don't think Ryan Reynolds would just post that for no reason. And not to get, personal with it, but lawsuits are expensive, and I think this is a good way to pay for a lawsuit, is to show up in an Avengers movie, personally. For those of you who don't know, Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni are currently in a legal battle, and so I'm sure that, some extra money on the side could be beneficial for that cause. But guys, this is very exciting. What do you think of Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool coming back to be in Avengers Doomsday? Do you believe THR, or do you believe Deadline that it's not true? Let us know in the comments as we move on to our next thing of breaking news. But before that, Calixer's here. He said, I'm the late one this time. That's okay, Calixer. Thank you for being here anyway. We switched up. We did Thursdays the past couple times, so I get it. People are going to be coming in late. We're back on Fridays for now. This next piece of breaking news actually really excites me. I greatly enjoy these scary movie films. They are, especially the first few, are exceptionally funny, and they're really great spoof movies, and there's not a lot of great spoof movies left. We had heard that Scary Movie 6 was going to be happening. We reported on it a while ago when it was first announced, but a lot of people were asking Regina Hall if she would be returning to the Scary Movie franchise, and Anna Faris the same thing, and they both kind of said, I'll come back if they come back, because we want to do this together. Like, that's been kind of the vibe there. Well, Regina Hall and Anna Faris are both coming back to Scary Movie 6. It's officially happening. That's really exciting. I think these two have great chemistry together. I think whenever they're in these films, they shine. I'm particularly fond of Scary Movie 2 and 3. I think they're the first three Scary movies are great to me. I think they're really, really fun. And I'm excited about this. I'm excited to see them together. It'll almost have like a nostalgia feel. And honestly, if you ask me, huge missed opportunity if they don't get Melissa Barrera in the movie. So that's the casting announcement I'm hoping to see, or they might try to keep that a secret if they get it done. But Nick, I'm throwing it over to you. What do you think about this?
No, I think it's exciting news. I think Anna Faris and Regina Hall are absolutely hysterical together and also individually. And I think this is coming at a great time with, parody movies kind of making, and not even just parody, but just kind of spoof. Like Naked Gun is doing very well, and critically and I believe financially, which we'll get into at the box office. But, I think it's time when people just want these goofy, ridiculous comedies back in theaters to go and enjoy. And I think Scary Movie coming back, bringing back original cast members to probably be able to parody the fact of all these horror reboots, such as like Halloween, bringing back the original characters. Mm-hmm. I think it's right for the playing field. I've already seen people on Twitter going crazy, just saying like, Anna Faris weapons running into a pole is going to cure my depression. I can't wait to see them messing with the hand from Talk to Me. So many great horror movies have come out since the last Scary Movie. And I think there's going to be so much of a playground to play in. I think it's going to be so exciting to see. I really am excited to see the writing team that they bring on, who we get to direct it, and, just to see it.
No, I agree. I agree with you. And you made a good point about like bringing back the original cast, almost parody that keeps happening. Like we just saw it with I Know What You Did Last Summer. We just saw it with the Scream franchise, what the first Scary Movie was a direct parody of Scream. So like I feel like we're going to get a lot of jokes there. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I agree. Guys, what do you think about Regina Hall and Anna Faris coming back for Scary Movie 6? Let us know in the comments as we move on to our first look images. A lot of first look images came out this week. And the first one up is something that I'm very excited about. I know some people might argue with me. I don't care. I'm excited. I'm hype. I'm ready. I am ready. We have our first look at Percy Jackson Season 3 with Walker Scobell there. And he already looks 25. So, they need to hurry up and start making these. But the good news is, this is an image from Season 3, which means they're already filming Season 3, and Season 2 comes out in December of this year. So we're not going to have a long gap in between the seasons anymore. I think they've realized that, oh shit, the kids are growing up fast, and so we're going to get the next few seasons knocked out. Now, it's not renewed beyond 3 just yet, but I'm hoping we can get it renewed and keep going for that. I'd love to see the original 5 books be adapted. The fact that the Titan's Curse is even getting an adaptation regardless means we've won. We've won, and we'll take it. We haven't made it this far yet, and now we're getting there. So, Nick, I'm going to throw it over to you. What do you think of the first look image of Walker Scobell for the 3rd season of Percy Jackson and the Olympians?
Yeah, sure. Haven't seen it.
It happens. It happens.
Here's what I'll say on it. I think it's good. I think that just from the look of season 2 to how he looks now, they realize like, oh shit, we got to get this thing moving before he's just a man.
Yeah.
So I think it makes sense that they're expediting production on it. And I do hope they get through him this time.
Yeah, no, for real. I agree. I'm going to go to the live chat really quick. Hannah says, Titan's Curse, thank God. I agree completely. Calixer says, bro, it's not even Percy Jackson anymore. I believe he's still younger than Logan Lerman was when he was cast in the first one back when.
There's a joke. That was a 2-parter.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Where's the first part?
That was the first part. And then right after.
Oh, it's Perseus. Oh, that's funny. Okay, Calixer, that was fucking funny. I got to give that to you.
This is a man.
Yes, that was very funny. I need to read faster. But guys, what do you think about this image of Percy Jackson for Season 3? Let us know in the comments as we move on to our next first look. And this next first look, ladies and gentlemen, is showing the GOAT himself coming out of retirement to help out his son in their directorial debut. Anemone? However the fuck you say this title. I can't read.
I think it's Anemone.
Anemone. Thank you. I promise I passed English and I'm a writer. And that look is this. Daniel Day-Lewis coming back out of retirement. Naturally, as we look at this image, the only question we can really ponder is what Marvel movie is next? No, I'm kidding. But, Nick, you've seen this image. Do you think that this is a one and done for Daniel Day and he's doing it to help his kid out? Or do you think this will spark something in him to bring him back and we get Daniel Day-Lewis full-fledged again? I don't think he's coming back after this. I think he is done. But I wanted to ask you, what do you think?
He'll be back for Anemone 2. No, listen, I think it's, I do think he's done. I think that this is coming off of him having a child that wants to go into the film industry and is using his talent as probably the greatest actor of all time to do it and to help him sort of get this off the ground and get this running. Because I bet, a big part of, getting this made was, oh, my dad will star in it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's very exciting to just see Daniel Day-Lewis in something again, and what an intimidating actor to have as your first time directing, even if it is your dad. I mean.
Yeah, for real. For real. And this phone call probably went like, hey, Dad, remember when you picked me up late to the school dance all those years ago and you said you owed me one? Yeah? What were you thinking? You want to act in my movie? Oh, God damn it. Fine. I'm joking.
I'm retired. And you drank my milkshake when I was younger.
Dude, you know what this got me thinking about? This got me thinking about Phantom Thread. That movie's fucking good. I don't care what anybody says. I love Phantom Thread. I saw Phantom Thread in 70mm IMAX, by the way. It was awesome.
I never saw Phantom Thread.
It's something. It is something else. I believe it's PTA.
Here's a hypothetical. Well, he's been in a lot of PTA movies. Here's a hypothetical. Let's say he wants to act again after this. Is PTA the one that'll get him back?
Maybe. It could be Scorsese. He's worked with Scorsese a couple times as well. I don't know. We'll have to see.
I would put my money on PTA getting him.
Yeah. Now the Marvel question comes back because we know PTA is a big fan of Marvel. He'll never make something with Marvel, though.
Which Marvel movie does Daniel Day-Lewis star?
Yes, he's Dr. Doom after Robert Downey Jr. All right, I want to go to the live chat here really quick. God damn it. Calixer says Infamous, referencing the title of the movie. That's funny. That's a good inside joke. And, Nick, watch out. Calixer says, I'm telling Nick Cage that Nick said Daniel Day-Lewis is better.
You can't prove that. It's not filmed or recorded or live streamed. I never said such words.
Way to get him. Guys, what do you think about Daniel Day-Lewis coming back to star in his son's film? Let us know in the comments as we move on to our last first look. And I got more Marvel slap shit to talk about, Nicholas. This is what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. As you know, The Punisher is going to be in Spider-Man Brand New Day. They're wrapping up filming their Glasgow portion of Spider-Man Brand New Day. We've got amazing images there. But we have the first official evidence from the set that the Punisher is in the film because they were filming a scene of Spider-Man on top of the Punisher's van. If you look closely at the image here, you can see the skull on the van. First of all, forget it, Spider-Man. I'm just happy to see the Punisher van back. They did a version of the Punisher van in season 2 of Daredevil, which I enjoyed. And the Punisher van's obviously a very, in the comics, is a fun, crucial part of the character. And even in the Spider-Man animated series that Punisher's in, they had the Punisher van as well. So it's nice to see it back. It's nice to see it with the skull in its proper form. But, just more evidence that it's happening. They were filming with John Bernthal's stunt double because I don't believe he's made it over to Europe to film yet. And I believe they're no longer filming in Glasgow. They might be moving over to London now to do the stuff inside. So this will be a lot of fun. I can't wait. It's going to happen. I can't wait for the official images if we ever see Punisher. Nick, what do you think?
Yeah, what has cracked me up the most about this is you have all these iconic vehicles in superhero media. You have the Spider-Man mobile, which is like a little spider with wheels. Mm-hmm. You've got the Fantastic Four cart. You got the X-Men hover cart. I mean, you have so many different options to choose from. The Batmobile is every iteration of that. And then you think like, all right, well, what does the Punisher have? They're like, okay, what if he just had an all-black van? And they go, go on, okay. And they go, and inside, it's just fucking guns. It's just so many guns. And there's a gun up top, and there's a gun underneath, and everywhere is just guns, and then we paint a skull on it. Which, it's very fitting of the character. I just think the low-techness of the Punisher van makes it funnier to me.
Oh, yes.
They're like,
yes,
no,
100%.
It's just a dude that wants to kill some people, and he's got a van.
It's every person's nightmare whose job it is to search cars. Like, it's just filled of everything they're trained to look out for. It's this one van. It's pretty great. By the way, guys, I lied to your faces when I said that was the last first look image. Nick, how could I fucking forget this next one? This is a movie I am stoked. I'm stoked about because I'm just happy that this movie got a sequel. A movie came out a couple years ago called Sisu. If you have not seen... Guys, let me cut to my close-up. If you have not seen Sisu, please make it a priority viewing. It is an incredibly fun, amazing movie that has one of the funniest last lines of dialogue ever. I'll say it's up there contention for all time. They are officially making a Sisu sequel, which we talked about, but we have the first official image for Sisu Road to Revenge. There he is, goddammit. I can't wait for this fucking movie. I can't wait to watch this movie. I believe it's the same filmmaker, if I'm not mistaken, because he's doing Rambo now. I believe this is wrapped filming. I cannot wait. Just 2 hours of this guy just fucking up Nazis was what I needed at the time, and it was lovely. It was lovely. What did you think of Sisu, and are you excited for the second one?
I love Sisu. It was cheesy. It was over the top. It was like the blood was basically just red paint again. There was limbs flying everywhere. It was just a violently good time at the movies. I think I saw it before you, and I just left, and I said, you need to go see this immediately.
Yep.
It's very your shit. And I will second your sentiment. I think it top 5 closing line of a movie, I think, ever. It's absolutely incredible. And I'm very excited. I think Sisu Road to Revenge is a rad name. I think that's awesome. And I am there day one.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Me too. Guys, what do you think about Sisu Road to Revenge, the first look and that image? Are you excited? Do you have no idea what the fuck Sisu is? I highly encourage you to go watch it. Let us know in the comments as we move on to our first main news story today. Nicholas, a story that you and I have been covering is the fact that they're doing a remake of First Blood, the Rambo film, from the director of Sisu, actually. And it is official. We have the new Rambo. Here's the old Rambo. I just like this image and wanted to show it. That's Sylvester Stallone. But the next John Rambo has been cast in the remake of First Blood, and that person is Noah Centineo. He will be the new John Rambo from Sisu director. It's planned to shoot in the beginning of 2026 in Thailand, and Lionsgate is the frontrunner to acquire this package as they distributed the last 2 Rambo films and Sisu. The film's plot is under wraps, but it will be the origin story of a young John Rambo during the Vietnam War. Now, this is the part that surprises me, because when we initially reported everything, this obviously comes to us from Deadline. When we had initially reported on this story, we were under the impression that this was a remake of First Blood, and that this was going to be just telling that story again. Now, it's going to be, we're going to see John Rambo in Vietnam when he was fighting. And I'm curious to if they're going to tie this into established Rambo and say, oh, this is Sylvester Stallone younger, or if this is going to be a launching point of a new franchise of we're just going to start in Vietnam and then we'll get to First Blood. I'm very curious to see that, because I don't know how I feel about it if it's just a prequel to the Stallone one, because I was excited to see new First Blood. And like, let me be very clear, for those of you who are unfamiliar, I know that a lot of people are probably familiar with the stink that the Rambo franchise has on it now, and like the macho rah-rah America thing that it is now. The first movie, First Blood, is so good. It's a great film that's just a harrowing tale of a vet who comes back. All of his friends are dead. There's nothing left for him. All he wants to do is go home, and this town just won't stop fucking with him. These bitch-ass police officers just won't leave him alone. He fucking loses it. He snaps because of PTSD trauma, and unfortunately has to fuck up some of these police officers. Now, important to point out, too, I don't think anybody dies in the first Rambo film with the exception of one person who falls out of a helicopter, I think. And the end of the movie, the last scene, is probably the best acting Sylvester Stallone has ever done. It's heartbreaking. It's a heartbreaking scene. And there is an alternate ending where he even commits suicide. Like, that's how dark the movie was. Like, it's a very harrowing movie. And it's very good. Now, granted, they franchised it and turned it into this Macho Man rah-rah America thing, which is fun to watch and kick back and eat popcorn with, but it wasn't that first movie. And, I'm going to throw it over to you now, Nick. I've done my piece. I've done my Rambo piece. I think that Noah Centineo is going to be a great Rambo. And I've seen a lot of the internet disagree with me on Twitter and other places. People, Nick, I'm pissed. People can never ever see the vision of casting directors. We were there when Ben Affleck was cast as Batman, saying that's a fucking excellent choice. Everyone was against it. He comes out, everyone loves him, even when they hate those movies. Heath Ledger is cast as the Joker. Oh, the guy from Brokeback Mountain? Yes, that guy, and he fucking won an Oscar. Just listen to these people. Rarely is there an instance where they cast somebody and it was actually a horrible fucking choice. I think this is a really good choice. Nick, throwing it to you. Noah Centineo as Rambo, young Rambo. What are your thoughts?
I love First Blood. I think it's a great movie, like you said. I haven't seen any of the post other Rambo movies. I think
Oh, lucky.
maybe I've been trying to avoid them, but maybe I'll watch them eventually. I think what's making me most excited about this movie is just the attachment of the Sisu director. I thought the action in that movie, not to say this is going to be an action movie, but just the direction, the staging of everything. I think he's a great director, and I think it's very exciting that he's getting a project of this scale, because Sisu was kind of a movie that just came out of nowhere. Not a lot of people have seen it. Not a lot of people were expecting much of it, and then here it is getting a sequel, and now he's got the John Rambo movie. Like, what a uprising for this guy. I love it. In terms of Noah Centineo, I haven't really seen him in much, so I'm very interested to see. I know he kind of got his start on those Netflix like rom-coms. If they're rom-coms, it's to those Boys I Loved Before or something, I think is what he was in. I thought he was really good in Black Adam. If anything in that movie was good, I thought.
Yes, he was.
I thought he was a very good Adam smasher.
He was great.
Say what you will about Black Adam. I thought they casted all the heroes fairly well. Mm-hmm. And I thought he gave a great performance. He had a role in Warfare, and I thought he was.
Was he in Warfare?
He was in Warfare.
Don't remember him.
Yeah, I don't think he had a big role if I'm remembering correctly, but he was. Mm-hmm. He definitely popped in for a bit. And I think he may have been one that gets like pretty gravely injured.
Mm.
And I thought he gave a very, very strong performance in that. So I'm very excited to see him take on Rambo, especially if they're going to lean more into the drama side of Rambo as opposed to the action heavy side. I'm very interested to see him bust out his acting chops. There we go.
Do you think it's going to be a prequel to Stallone, or do you think it's going to be the start of a franchise just starting the story earlier?
I could see it starting out as a prequel on paper.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe as they're kind of making it, maybe it kind of morphs into something else.
Yeah, I wonder if they're just not going to say and have it end with him like arriving back home like the beginning of First Blood and the movie ends. So like if you wanted to interpret it as a prequel, you could.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of one of those. It's these little questions like this that keep me up at night. But guys, what do you think of Noah Centineo as John Rambo? Let us know in the comments as we move on to our next story. And this next one is a very fun announcement that I'm stoked about. Final Destination Bloodlines was a film that released earlier this year and made tons of money for Warner Brothers. It was a huge success in a franchise that I love dearly. The question then became, are they going to make another Final Destination movie after the franchise was dormant for so long? You bet your ass they are, especially after how financially successful it was. From The Hollywood Reporter, Warner Brothers has hired the Bloodlines co-writer Laurie Evans Taylor to pen the next installment. Bloodlines grossed over $286 million, 5.7 times its production budget. No word on if the directors, Adam Stein and Zach Lebowski, are returning to direct, but the movie is being written and is being developed. That's what I'm talking about. Make these movies forever. I love this franchise. Bloodlines was so good. It was so good. It was very refreshing for the franchise, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see more. And, I'm excited to see how they build off of that movie. It doesn't have to be connected at all. It can be a little bit connected. It can be whatever they want. I'm a big fan. I can't wait for this. And I need to call Adam right now and make sure that we're booked on his show for Final Destination 7, because I loved talking about it on his show for Bloodlines. But anyway, throwing it over to you. How are you feeling about Final Destination 7?
I mean, very excited. Like I've said before, as we've been talking about, I've seen 1, 2, and 6 is sort of my relation to the Final Destination franchise. But I thought 1 and 2, they're the fun, cheesy kill movies, and while Bloodlines was that, I thought it was also just a very well-made film. I think that they were great directors. They understood the assignment. They built very tense, suspenseful scenes, and the gory payoff of these brutal deaths was just everything I wanted from the movie. It was a big popcorn fest. Audiences were eating it up, clearly by the box office numbers. So it makes sense they want to keep it going. I really do hope that they return to direct. I think having the writer coming back is probably a good sign that maybe they're going to try to bring back some of the other crew attached to the movie. And as for direction, I don't think it needs to be connected. It would be interesting to see maybe some 1 or 2 characters that we've seen pop back up again. But I think it would just be interesting to just go make a Final Destination movie. It could be whatever. Put people in a situation, get a premonition, let's start seeing some people die. It doesn't need to have a narrative overall thread of like, oh, it's going through the bloodline, which again, from a story point, I appreciated very much, but we could just do this. It's fine.
Dude, you could have stopped your sentence at it. It doesn't need a narrative. I agree. No, but, dude, you gotta finish out the franchise. You gotta watch 3, 4, and 5. Listen,
you've spoken so highly of 5.
Listen, 4 is dog shit. Like, it's hard to get through, but it needs to be done. Because 5 is my favorite film in the franchise. And 3 is iconic. 3 is the roller coaster one with Mary Elizabeth Winstead in the lead. Great fun. I'm telling you, though, 5 is the shit. The twist at the end of 5 is so good. Gotta see it. Anyway, guys, what do you think about Final Destination 7 being official? Calixer's excited with me in the live chat. Let us know in the comments as we move on to our next story. And surprise, 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 everybody. We're talking about Marvel on this show. Specifically, Nick, I believe it was it last episode or 2 episodes ago where we were talking about Eric Pearson writing the new Blade film, where I said, and you were there, it was live, everyone can go watch it,
We have
I
a
said,
TikTok about it. We have a whole clip.
yes, where I said, is it just me, or does it look like that Eric Pearson's reputation at Marvel is he's the go-to guy if something's in trouble. If something's bad, you got to call Eric. Well, THR did a whole article about that very thing. And the title of the article is How Fantastic Four writer Eric Pearson Became a Marvel Secret Weapon. And the article goes on to explain a little bit as to how Eric Pearson would come in and work on scripts and do these things. It's a very, very good interview, by the way. They discuss a lot with Eric Pearson. He talks about working on Agent Carter. He talks about working on being in like the Marvel Writers Program back when the MCU was in its early days. And it's just very, very interesting. It talks about how he was a reader at DreamWorks and that was his first job in Hollywood. It was very cool, but it does go into how he just kept going. Like whenever they need him, they bring him in to help correct their scripts. And a quick funny story that I want to bring up here is this. He talks about pitching to Kevin Feige after 7 months because it's pitching to be part of the Marvel Writers Program. And every time they would have the meeting, it would keep getting canceled. And finally, 7 months later, the meeting wasn't canceled. And he got to go pitch in front of Kevin Feige. And here it is. During the pitch, the question from THR was, you finally get to pitch to Kevin Feige in 2010 after 7 months, and he says, the only thing Kevin said during the whole pitch is, how much more of this is left? And I said, we're in the second to the last scene, and he went, great. But he goes on to say that he still ended up getting the job, but that he was very worried from that response, and Feige was like, all right, you're good, I get it, when is this over? I just thought that was funny. But, I wanted to bring up this story just because, one, I highly recommend everyone go read this article. It should be in the description below. It's a great, great article, a great interview where he talks about his career and talking about working with filmmakers like Taika Waititi and these other people and how he writes his scripts. It's very interesting. And I just felt a little bit vindicated in that it seems like his reputation is this, and it is that. However, the writer of the article goes on to point out that he refused to talk about Blade, which I find hilarious. But, Nick, I'm throwing it over to you. You got a chance to read this article. What did you think about it?
No, it's a very, very interesting, insightful interview into kind of a little bit more of the inner workings of Marvel and how, watching Eric Pearson's rise from, he has a great story at the beginning saying, they're talking about grunt work, and he said, the movie of Captain America was almost picture locked, and they said, we're looking for a few ADR spots, like, do we have 3/4 of a second behind Chris Evans' head so he can ADR get back to base? And I spent a week doing that. Just from him starting looking at video of the back of Chris Evans' head to then writing and being first script on so many different Marvel projects. I mean, it's very exciting. And he's also left outside of Marvel. I believe he wrote Transformers 1, if I'm not mistaken, as well.
Yes.
So I think it's very exciting to see. I think he does a great job. He is just kind of the fixer of it. And sometimes you just need a fixer around, You need old reliable there who can come and fix your Blade movie, which I don't get why it's so hard. It's a cool guy killing vampires. That's all I need. But, if anyone's going to fix Blade, then I believe it to be Eric Pearson,
No, 100%. Guys, what do you think about that article? What do you think about Eric Pearson being the go-to save guy for Marvel? Let us know in the comments as we move on to our next news story. And this next news story, I want to point out, is going to have some mild spoilers for the film Weapons, which is currently out in theaters right now. Hannah, I'm talking to you. Mute this, and then when we move on to the next topic, you can come back. So, if you've never seen Weapons, mild spoiler warning. Nick, I don't know how I feel about this. And I'm gonna bring it up now. The Hollywood Reporter is reporting that there is a prequel in development to Weapons starring, or not starring, because we don't know if she's going to come back, Amy Madigan, who gave a great performance. But it's going to be about Aunt Gladys from Weapons. And this was and here are some interesting bullet points from the article. Warner Brothers and New Line are talking with Cregger about making the prequel, exploring her origin. Cregger had a chapter of the movie dedicated to Gladys, but it was removed in editing, or if they didn't shoot it, I can't remember from the article. Oh, it was pulled from the movie for length, so it was shot. But it may be expanded into its own feature-length film. What he will work on, he'll work on this after Resident Evil, and anybody's guess, because he has his own sci-fi script called Flood, a DC movie, and this. He has a lot going on. By the way, the DC movie is not greenlit yet, which we'll get to soon, but it's a whole thing. And I gotta say, I don't want it. I think something that makes that Weapons movie so awesome is the fact that we didn't get the backstory, personally. And I think that doing this backstory... Look, here's what I'll also say. I often on this show say all the time that the movie being great will fix everything. So if they make this film and it fucking rules, I'll come on here and be like, that movie was fucking awesome. But if you're asking me if I need the movie, I don't. I didn't need Prometheus. I don't mind Prometheus. But, if you told me, oh, do you need the origin about the weird creature that was in the ship and Alien? No, I didn't. But I got it, and I like it, but I didn't need it. And I kind of feel that way about this. Now, if they bring in great actors, you tell me Anya Taylor-Joy is going to play this role, you tell me Emma Stone's going to play this role, all right, I guess I'll come in and fucking watch this, right? But it's just one of those things where also... I so doubt that Zach Cregger directs this. I guarantee you, because Zach Cregger is a very smart guy. I guarantee you this is I would like a producer credit on a franchise where I can get paid constantly. And it's and if they want to keep milking this, put my name on it and give me some money, and maybe he passes this off to a friend to kind of prop them up to give them a shot at directing. I could definitely see that happening as well. It's a conversation I've seen online flourishing that I agree with. What are your thoughts on the idea of this, and do you think Zach Cregger will end up doing it?
I pretty much disagree with you. It's not something I need, not something I want, but if it's good, like you said, that cures everything. But to me, what was most effective about the character is that we don't know the origin. Yes. And I think that it being cut for length of time, I bet too, also maybe it just took away from the story. I could see it maybe working as an individual movie, but I don't think I need it. I felt very satisfied with everything that I got about the character, and I think part of the mystery of her origin is what made the movie to me so exciting and so interesting. So,
I agree completely.
And I think it's a great performance from Amy Madigan. I would be very interested to see if she's coming back, or like you said, if they're going to go with a younger direction on it. I don't think Cregger will direct it. I don't. I think I agree with you. I think it's going to be a handoff. I think he wants the producer credit. Do whatever you want in the weapons world. Go nuts. But I think he's got a lot of very exciting projects on his table. And I think that this is just something that would kind of just be slowing him down. I don't think he's someone that wants to kind of retread on the stuff that he's been doing. He wants to look for the most exciting next thing. He's got this sci-fi movie Flood. I bet that's probably top of his list, honestly.
Yeah. And we know that he's going right to work on Resident Evil, now. He's probably working on it now. Yeah. And it's, and here's the thing. I'm already not that interested in the movie. You tell me Zach Cregger's not directing, I'm even way less interested. You would have to cast somebody A-list in that role to get me back in on it,
And he's just one of the most in-demand, one of the most exciting new voices in horror, so... I would like to see him keep expanding as he did with Barbarian. I didn't want Barbarian 2. I didn't want a prequel about the creature from Barbarian. Yes. The mystery is what makes it fun, what makes it exciting, what makes it different. Mm-hmm. And it could be a thing too where maybe it ends up hurting the weapons, in retrospect or whatever you want to call it. But I think Weapons is great. If you guys haven't already, we have a full review on the channel. If you want to check that out as well, where we go more deep into the spoilers. We're trying to keep it as high level here as we can.
Yeah, we're being vague. We're being vague as hell right now.
We're being vague as hell, but Zach Cregger is exciting. I trust the man. I trust his process. If he gives this the thumbs up, then I kind of want to give it a shot, No,
I agree. And I'm now going to make a bunch of hand gestures to let people come back if they muted their stuff, knowing that we're good. Everything is fine. Spoilers are over. I really need to make a spoiler thing that I can get rid of. I'll work on that. But guys, what do you think about that potential prequel to Weapons happening? Do you think it's a good idea? Is it something you want to see? Let us know in the comments as we move on to our next news story. And this also involves Zach Cregger. I briefly mentioned earlier that he has a DC script. And you're like, oh, I didn't know that James Gunn and Peter Safran had hired him to write a DC movie. They didn't. He wrote it completely spec. And he wants to pitch it to them. And I just find that to be Calixer. Came back right as spoilers were done. Incredible. Amazing. Great job. But he wrote a spec DC script that he wants to pitch to DC, and he seems pretty confident that they're going to make it at some point, which I find really, really funny. But that also tells me that like they've talked already. Not like an official green light meeting, but like I think they're aware of this. Like I'd be very surprised if they weren't. But dude, this script sounds pretty awesome. And here are the details on it. It's called Henchman. It follows a low-level henchman in Gotham who gains notoriety by accidentally incapacitating Batman through a stroke of luck. Harley Quinn and Joker have roles in the story, and again, it has not been pitched to DC Studios. Give that to Zach Cregger, dude. I'm in. I'm so in if they allow this to happen. And it reminds me a little bit of some episodes of Batman the Animated Series, which, incredible. Yeah, I want this to happen so badly. So badly. I don't even care if Batman's not established in the DCU yet. Do it this way. I'm fine with that. If there's anyone who can make a story about a random character and make that character more interesting than the superstars around him, it's Zach Cregger. Give it to him. I'm in. What are your thoughts?
Yes. I think it's a great. I mean, I think it's a great premise. I think the comedy of it, like, I hope it does like lean into the comedy of the situation of just this sort of imposter syndrome of him thinking he's a bigger henchman than he should be. You know, getting that meeting with the Joker, getting that meeting with Harley Quinn. You know, and is it just me or do I kind of want it to be an Elseworlds thing? Like, I don't know if I want this in the DCU. Like, when they say incapacitate, I want this guy to kill Batman.
Oh God.
That's like I want it to be like that level where it's just like that's the guy that killed Batman. Like, holy crap, what's this guy's deal? I mean, the casting potential is through the roof of who you could cast in this role. It wouldn't bog you down with trying to connect it with, well, we're seeing the Batman, you know, oh my God, Superman got hit and we see Superman losing fights in the Superman movie and now Batman's incapacitated. What's James Gunn doing to these heroes? Just put in an Elseworlds movie. Cast your own Joker. Have some more fun with it. Let's just, you know, make use of the Elseworld because this is a great Elseworld concept. This would be a great animated movie concept. This would be a great comic book concept. Like, I mean, there's so many different potentials and routes that they could take this that I would be shocked if it doesn't get made in some way, shape, or form in whatever medium.
Listen, I'm with you. And I know that, you know, you can't really do The Whitest Kid You Know anymore because Trevor Moore has passed away. But if they just got the rest of the guys back and made this a WKUK sketch, I'd be fine with that, dude. I'd be even fine with that. Just license out the DC characters for them to use. That'd be amazing. But guys, what do you think about this potential henchman script for DC? Do you think James Gunn and Peter Safran will take it? Do you think it'll be Elseworlds? What do you think? Let us know in the comments as we move on to our main topic story. 45 minutes in, that's not bad. We're on the thumbnail story, everybody. That's not bad. Not bad at all. If you've watched the show for any period of time, you know that I have a love-hate relationship with Paramount. Around 2017 through 2019, Paramount was my favorite movie studio. And that solely because of Mustache Gate. I think it's one of the funniest things that's ever happened in the history of movies. For those of you that don't know, Henry Cavill had grown a mustache to film Mission Impossible Fallout. And when they wanted him for reshoots on Justice League, they asked Paramount if he could shave it, and they said no because it was in their contract, and they should have put it in their contract that he should be shaven if they wanted it that badly. So Warner Brothers had to spend tens of millions of dollars digitally removing his mustache, and it looks like a fucking monstrosity. Paramount immediately became my favorite movie studio after that. Paramount also had good graces with me when they refused to put Top Gun Maverick on streaming and put it back and put it in theaters. Very cool. Where Paramount started to really piss me off was early in the pandemic, they made some dumb calls, whatever. And then when it was clear that they were trying to sell them, that Paramount Skydance was trying to sell Paramount. That became annoying. Or were they bought by Skydance? Or were they selling them? Bought by Skydance. Yes. When they were going to get sold to Skydance, Paramount started just acting super shitty about everything. They started fucking canceling things for no reason. They started cozying up to the current political administration because they wanted the FCC to approve their merger with Skydance, so they would like cancel Stephen Colbert and do all these things, and got really fucking annoying about everything. And it was dumb. They almost got rid of South Park, which would have been a huge fucking mistake. And then South Park, of course, celebrated their victory by making fun of them mercilessly, which was great. Even Nathan Fielder had a whole thing where he compared Paramount to Nazis, which was crazy. But Paramount, now that Skydance officially owns them and they have new leadership and they don't have anything to worry about, buddy, they're starting to become my favorite studio again. They're making some serious fucking moves. Some serious moves. One of which is this. This is so fucking wild, you guys. We are soon going to be watching the final episodes of Stranger Things, Netflix's Golden Goose. Stranger Things was created by the Duffer Brothers. And while they have some various spin-offs in place with Netflix, everyone's been kind of wondering, like, what's next for the Duffer Brothers? Where are they going? They're going to fucking Paramount. Because Paramount just offered them the goddamn money truck. And Paramount's been making a lot more moves as well. Here's the story on that. The Duffer Brothers, it says in talks, as of, we could have done another breaking news story, because Matt Belloni, just before we aired, said that the deal is done. So it's official. Duffer Brothers will join Paramount with a massive overall deal, including streaming and theatrical projects. The deal would carve Stranger Things spin-offs and expansions out for Netflix while bringing new originals to Paramount, so anything Stranger Things related stays on Netflix. And Matt Belloni said that the thing that made it happen was Paramount's promise that they'll put movies in theaters for them. Whoo, man, this is interesting. Talent's going everywhere. Talent is going everywhere. Part of Paramount's post-merger splash, by the way, more things they've done, follows a $7.7 billion deal to exclusively stream the UFC and a high-side acquisition with Timothée Chalamet and James Mangold. That's a project that they've been working on. Guys, Paramount is going fucking crazy. And I don't know if you heard the rumor today, Nicholas. There's a rumor. I don't know how true this is. There's a rumor that Paramount might try to buy Warner Brothers. Which would be fucking crazy.
How much money does Skydance have?
More than we thought, homie.
Well, because right in the past month, they funneled almost $10 billion. 7.7 to the UFC, however much the Duffer Brothers are getting. South Park just closed 1.5 billion. Where's all this money coming from?
Well, the UFC deal specifically is paid out yearly. So I think it's $1 billion per year.
Okay, so is
that's still a lot of money.
South Park's 300,000, 300 million a year. Sorry.
Yeah.
But like, still, we're not talking small amounts of money here.
No.
Like, where's this all coming from?
I'll tell you where it's coming from. Layoffs, my friend. They're firing a lot of people.
Yeah.
But listen.
This is also true.
If it, again, I didn't want to put like the Warner Brothers thing as a story because that's just a rumor. There's nothing official like that happening. You know what it would get though if they bought Warner Brothers? They'd get Tom Cruise back because Tom Cruise made that deal with Warner Brothers.
They should,
and they want Tom Cruise back for Paramount for Top Gun.
Oh yeah, no, you get whatever you have to do to get Tom Cruise back. People are gonna. Oh, I guess the movies don't make money, but they'll make money. Depending, Top Gun will make money at the very least for you.
Yep. Yes, it will. Listen, all I'm saying is, guys, keep your eye on the trades for the fucking shit that Paramount's going to be pulling the next year and a half. Like, we're going to see, this is not the last crazy story that we've seen for Paramount. We're going to see so much more, and it's going to be amazing.
There's just no way that they would be allowed to buy Warner Brothers, right? There's no way Warner Brothers would sell. There's no, right? Like, At what point are we getting to monopoly?
Listen, we got a lot of crazy shit going on in the country. It wouldn't shock me if they went for it. But at the same time, I don't think they're gonna buy Warner Brothers. I don't think they're gonna buy Warner Brothers. I do think they'll try to buy out Tom Cruise. That wouldn't shock me at all.
I'm very excited to see what the Duffer Brothers do with this deal. Are they going to
Yeah.
stick with TV? Are they going to, try to move into theatrical? Because do they direct Stranger Things as well? I don't recall.
They
offhand.
do a little bit, yeah.
They do, but they're mostly like the writers created
Mm-hmm.
by. So I'd be curious to see what direction they take it.
I think the first thing they're doing is a movie.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
And probably like an original sci-fi movie. That'll be really, really interesting with where that goes.
That's what I mean. What project do they want to keep? I feel like they got to go drastically different, right? Than like the Stranger Things vibe, unless that's just the niche that they want to be in, which nothing wrong with that. Get your bag,
Yeah, just do what you can. Just do what you can, honestly. I forgot to tell you. During Paramount had a big press conference where they were talking about a lot of these things and talking about a lot of changes they were making. And the new CEO said that streaming movies for Paramount Plus are, I'm paraphrasing, are the opposite of our priority. We will not be making original streaming movies. And I'm like, oh, yes! Fuck streaming movies. That's TV only, baby. Put them in theaters.
They heard how many people said, man, I wish I could have saw this in theaters. And then they saw the Top Gun numbers and they said, well, everything will go to theaters.
Well, not just that. Do you remember how much money Paramount Plus lost? They lost billions of dollars.
Yeah,
from just dumping a bunch of shit on there that was not going to make them money.
Because streaming or FOMO, it's a thing.
Listen, we have to make the documentary. It's going to have to be us. But also, $7 billion is a lot to spend on UFC. Dude, it's a genius purchase. They're going to make it. People are going to sign up for Paramount Plus in spades, buddy. Mm-hmm. That was a genius purchase. It reminded me of Netflix buying Monday Night Raw. That was such a smart move to prevent churn of people canceling their subscriptions. Mm-hmm. Such a good idea. Such a good idea. Listen.
You forget that there are other worlds out there because we're so invested in the actual film and TV side of things, and you're just like, they bought UFC, and it's like, why? Who's watching that? I don't.
Everybody's watching UFC.
Everybody else. That's the crazy part of it. No, it's genius. Very, very smart moves.
Yeah, and honestly, again, not to get too political, but I know that Dana White, the head of the UFC, is very right-leaning, and I would not be shocked if a long-term move of like canceling Stephen Colbert to appease the Trump administration like got Dana White to like talk to Paramount because he was looking to sell the UFC rights. Wouldn't shock me if that was a long-term strategy move, which I still think was shitty, but it got a $7 billion deal done, so we'll see.
It did. Almost
we'll see. Yeah. But anyway, guys, what do you think about Paramount just making some absolute fucking moves out here under the new leadership? How do you think the studio is going to pan out in the future? Do you think it'll be a good idea? Do you think it'll be bad? Let us know in the comments as we move on to the B-roll. These are some little news stories, little headlines that we don't have time to fully dive into, but we still wanted to talk about. Anyway, first up on the B-roll. Monica Barbaro and Callum Turner are going to star in a new rom-com together. I don't care. Listen, I care a little bit. Because I think Monica Barbaro is an amazing, amazing actor. And I'll watch anything she does.
Did you read the premise of the rom-com, though?
Oh, wait. Yeah, I do care. Was this the one? You go on. Yes.
So the movie is called One Night Only. So the director of it's Will Gluck, who directed the Sydney Sweeney Glenn Powell movie, Anyone But You. And this is called One Night Only, which I'm trying to find the actual log line, but basically it's about two people who need to find someone to sleep with on the one night where premarital sex is that's a log running joke, guys. Sorry. Oh, yeah. Premarital sex is legal. Sign me up. What a great premise.
Yes, I do care. Forgive me for dismissing that because I remember seeing the synopsis and being very excited. I am excited about that movie, actually. Past Dalton, you bastard. Next up here on the B-roll, Timothy Olyphant will be back for the Cliff Booth movie, reprising the role he played in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Dude, fuck yeah, I love Timothy Olyphant.
And when will he be back in The Mandalorian or Boba Fett? I liked his character.
I did as well, and I hope they bring him. Cobb Vanth, that was his name. I hope they bring him back, because remember, he's still healing in that fucking tank. Apparently,
he's in the Bacta tank. God, remember Boba Fett?
Yeah, unfortunately. You know what's crazy?
I like Cobb Vanth though, big Cobb Vanth guy.
Do you remember that awful, gang of people that are in that show?
Yeah, Sophia Thatcher's the lead.
I was just gonna say Sophie Thatcher was one of them, and that's crazy. Like, when I realized that and went back, I was like, oh my god, that is her. That's crazy. Talk about a waste of talent. Moving on to the next B-roll. This one's very, very interesting. Warner Brothers has become the first studio in history to have 6 consecutive films earn $40+ million in their openings. Those films being Minecraft, Sinners, Final Destination Bloodlines, F1, Superman, and Weapons. 50% of them are original films. Mike DeLuca, Pam Abdi! The fact that they were ever going to fucking fire these people upsets the shit out of me. I love DeLuca and Abdi. Keep working. Keep doing your thing. Love this. Love seeing this.
Generational run.
They are. They truly are.
You got to respect it. They said, oh, we're going to talk job security. We're going to make it so hard for you to fire us.
And listen, it should have been 7 films because everyone let down Mickey 17. That's all I'm going to say. It should have been 7.
It should have been 7.
Next up on the B-roll, James Gunn announces the Superman saga. He mentioned in an interview with The Hollywood Reporter that he is working on he has a treatment for the next chapter in the Superman saga after Supergirl comes out next year. What's funny is a lot of, aggregators and people on the internet ran with this as a story, but if you watch the interview, he's very much on a red carpet for Peacemaker, just moving, answering questions, and he's like, hey, I got the next thing in the Superman saga coming up, and people were like, that's what it is, baby, it's the saga, and just ran with it, and I'm like, all right, I guess that's what we're doing now, but I just thought that was funny that they kind of ran with that as an official thing, but he hasn't denied it afterwards, so there's that. You looking forward to this?
Yeah, sure. I mean, he said that it's not going to be like a Superman 2 in that sense of word. I do think it's just going to end up being like a team up of Superman and Supergirl. I think that's kind of the direction it's going to be heading, kind of a sequel to both of them in a way. I think that there is something interesting, though, about the saga concept that I think is going to be something that we're going to see recurring throughout the DCU. Because if you think about it, too, within not the DCU, but this probably isn't helping their case, you have Matt Reeves' Batman universe called the Epic Crime Saga. So saga could just be the term that they're going with for the DC universe, and that could maybe correlate to, I don't know, Pattinson being a part of it if they want to keep it all sagas. I don't know.
Yeah, true.
If you have a file system, naming conventions are important, and I don't think that there's nothing to saga.
I agree with you. Before we move on to the B-roll, we have a few more. I just want to point out that our short film Quiver is now available to purchase on Apple TV for digital purchase. It's only $3. Give it a buy. Even if you don't like it, it's fine. No, of course, I'm kidding. Quiver is also officially on Rotten Tomatoes, along with our film The Local. The poster's not up yet. I'm working on that. It's difficult, but it's there. So please, once you watch Quiver, go vote for it on Letterboxd. Rated on Letterboxd, on IMDb, on Rotten Tomatoes. Go crazy. We worked really hard on the film. We're very proud and happy that it is now out. Moving on to the B-roll. A while ago, we talked about how the rights for the Jason Bourne movie franchise were up for grabs from Universal. Well, someone has finally grabbed the Jason Bourne rights from Universal. And that lucky company is once again Universal. They have retained the Jason Bourne rights. And here's the big question, Nick. Did they retain this so that they could make another Jason Bourne movie? Or did they retain this so that nobody else can make a Jason Bourne movie?
That is the question. As we've seen on the studio, sometimes you have to buy a movie to kill a movie.
Yep.
And in this case, they're just shooting themselves in the foot.
Yep.
I mean, where do you go with Jason Bourne outside of just I doubt you're going to be able to get Matt Damon for a few more. Do you just go for a relaunch? Do you try to do spin-offs? Do you, what does it look like, and do people want it?
I'll tell you what you do. Just give me the goddamn crossover movie with Jeremy Renner and Matt Damon. I've been wanting it ever since they teased it. It's been years. Just give me
Honestly,
the goddamn movie.
That's worth the price of admission just to get the rights back, just so they can make that movie.
And bring back the Gilroys to make it, because I like them. Bring them back. Anyway, moving on.
What do you think? Do you think it is so no one else can get it? Or do you think they actually have plans? Well, because they have Treadstone. That's going to be a series, right?
I think it was already canceled.
Oh, boy.
I think it aired and canceled on the USA Network.
Maybe they'll try again.
Maybe they will. I think it's a bit of both. I think they just wanted to buy some more time. And I wouldn't be shocked if they just outright reboot this thing. But I'd like to see a Matt Damon, Jeremy Renner crossover movie. I've been waiting for it for a while. I'd like to see it.
I mean, we had a Jack Reacher movie, and then now we have the very successful acclaimed TV series, which is very, very different from the Tom Cruise movies. So I think it's possible maybe they go in a direction like that. They saw the success of Reacher, and they go, well, let's do that with Bourne. Let's just make it very different. Let's do a series.
I'm hoping that the maintaining of the rights just has something to do with the fact that they're going to change that awful fucking Bourne show they have at Universal Orlando. I probably shouldn't go on this rant considering Universal provides half of my household income, but I'm going to. That show is fucking terrible. And it's called a Stuntacular. The stunts are fine. It was mostly just they got a new toy for the digital background to be like, ooh, look at how cool it is. I don't give a fuck. It's called a Stuntacular, not the fucking Technology-tacular. Give me some goddamn stunts out of the Stuntacular Bourne show. Hopefully, keeping the rights means that they can do some new Bourne shit and get rid of that monstrosity when what it was James Cameron's Terminator 3. We had James Cameron's Terminator 3, Nicholas. It was at the park. It was awesome. Anyway, rant over. Moving on the next of the B-roll. Apparently, a new World War Z film is a top priority for the studio. I find this interesting. Remember at one point when David Fincher was this close to directing World War Z 2? Like this close? That's pretty wild. He probably won't do this one, which is a shame, because he's just stuck with Netflix, unfortunately. But I wouldn't mind a new World War Z film, as long as it doesn't have the same troubled production history that this film had. And fun fact about World War Z, Peter Capaldi's in this movie.
He is.
And he plays a doctor with the World Health Organization, WHO. And in the credits, he's credited as WHO Doctor. And I think that's funny.
Is that a pun, or is that just a happy circumstance?
That was way before he was cast.
That's incredible.
It is, right? I think that's funny.
I have not seen World War Z. I've seen the clip of Peter Capaldi and that joke, but this doesn't shock me that it's a priority, coming off of all the stuff they're doing with 28 Years Later and like Bone Temple, and not that those are like super financial successes, but I think that people are very excited about the zombie genre again in that regard. So I think it makes sense to want to bring that back. And I wouldn't be shocked if more studios are looking at their zombie related properties. I mean, God, The Walking Dead has how many spinoffs on AMC at this point, Yeah. So I think it makes sense that they're looking at World War Z as something to do. And yeah. Plus, I don't know, I haven't seen it, so I don't know if Brad Pitt lives or dies in that movie. But if you also have something you can put Brad Pitt in, that's not going to hurt.
It was also coming off of they're still going to make I Am Legend 2, apparently. So, we have that going on as well. Mm-hmm. Moving on the B-roll here. If you thought we were done talking about Paramount, fucking think again, because there were a lot of updates that we couldn't fit into that other story. So here you go. Star Trek. They mentioned at that press conference that they have 2 Star Trek films in development. One with the cast returning from the Kelvin trilogy with Chris Pine and Zachary Quinto and all of them. And another film completely separate from that. J.J. Abrams is producing both films because he wants to play both sides so that he always comes out on top, naturally. Also in that was Transformers. We had mentioned earlier that Michael Bay potentially was in talks to direct a new Transformers movie, and while we thought that movie might fall on the wayside, It looks like that's the movie that they're going to do. Like, they're really fucking pumped about Michael Bay coming back for Transformers, but it does say that it's going to be more of a reboot of Transformers. Just give me the goddamn G.I. Joe one. I was so excited at the end.
I was very excited about that.
I was so excited. Just give me that before, just once, please. Please, God. And,
that
of course...
post-credit scene. Sorry, that post-credit scene caught me so off guard. I don't know how much joy I've experienced at that level. Like, okay, because like with the Marvel stuff, right, there's so many leaks that happen that I feel like you kind of have a general idea of what's going on, right?
Yeah.
Spoilers for Fantastic Four, first steps, right? You get a brief glimpse of like Doctor Doom in the mid-credit scene. You don't see his face, you see the mask, you see the green hood. You kind of put that together. You're like, oh, well, the next movie's Doomsday, and Doom is generally a Fantastic Four villain. That makes sense. Watching Transformers, and then all of a sudden, you're getting recruited for G.I. Joe. I was like, wait, are they allowed to do that? I shot up in my seat. I was like, wait, this is a possibility? This is where we're going with this?
I immediately went from, oh, that was a cute movie, to, yo, I'm hype as fuck. Give me this movie right now. I felt like a child. Dude, by the way, speaking of child, I don't know if you guys have seen on some of our TikTok clips. We did a clip weeks ago where I talked about, it was from the show where I talked about seeing Iron Man when I was 12 years old. Dude, I got some fucking roasted comments about being old. But here's the thing. They were creative. They were really funny. And I highly encourage people go check out those comments because they made me laugh quite hard. They were pretty good. One of them was like, Uncle's 12 and '08. It's time to wrap it up. I thought that was so good. Anyway, last part of this B-roll. Top Gun 3. The current golden goose of Paramount, they did mention that they want to make Top Gun 3 and that it's a high priority for them, and naturally wanting to get Tom Cruise back in that studio and away from Warner Brothers, as we mentioned earlier. So, there is that for the B-roll. Now it's time for Off the Reel. Off the Reel is where we throw somewhat controversial topics at each other and kind of get into little debates about it. Let's see what we got first. I haven't looked at these, by the way, so this will be fun. Oh, and this ties into a story that happened. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't feel like it was worthy enough of a full story, and I thought maybe it would just be more of an interesting question.
Yes. So the question posed here is, should Marvel Zombies have been a movie? Marvel Zombies is a 4-episode miniseries for Marvel Animation coming out here in just a couple weeks at the end of September. And reports came out that it was originally going to be an animated film, a Marvel Studios animated film that unfortunately through a lot of production troubles, they couldn't make it into a film and just had to split it into 4 episodes. So, should Marvel Zombies have been a movie? Fuck yes, it should have been a movie. At least from the information that I know now. Maybe I watched the 4 episodes and I go, absolutely should have been 4 episodes. I fucking doubt that's how it's going to happen. But if that's the case, I'll say that. A lot of the Marvel shows you could argue should have been or could have been movies. A lot of people like to sit here and argue that Eternal should have been a show. Fuck those people. I can't stand when people say that. They're so wrong. But there are a lot of shows that you could make the argument should have been movies. Not even just with Marvel, but with Star Wars as well. Obi-Wan should have been a movie. But in this particular case, one, I think just having a Marvel Studios animated film would have been a very big statement. You could have even put it in theaters if you wanted to. And the show is TVMA, which means it's going to be very violent. Could you imagine if Marvel Studios released an R-rated animated film? That would have been absolutely insane. That would have been fucking crazy. It probably would have went straight to Disney+, but if it was theatrical, that would have been crazy too. I think it would have caused a really good conversation. I think it would have been an interesting new turn for the studio. Would have given Brad Winderbaum some more credit. I like Brad Winderbaum. And yeah, I think it should have been a movie. What are your thoughts?
You know, I kind of want to play devil's advocate and say TV show, but I am in agreement with you, especially because they're releasing them all at once.
Yeah, see,
right?
I've seen conflicting reports on that. Collider came out with a report today saying that they're going to go weekly so that it plays into October. But I've seen other reports say that they are going to do the Eyes of Wakanda route and drop it all at once.
I think if it's dropped all at once, it should have just been a movie. I think that the lift to maybe tie these storylines together, I feel like they did it with Moana and it made $1 billion at the box office. I think they could stitch together Marvel Zombies, you know?
Yeah.
But that goes into time, that goes into effort. I think if they made it a movie, I would have preferred it to be a theatrical release, and then that inflates your budget in terms of production, in terms of marketing, in terms of press. So it makes sense. Maybe they just didn't see the financial return of making it a movie, especially if they didn't want it. If you're not going to go theatrical, then I think I'm fine with it being a TV show. But I think it would have been a very interesting premise for a movie. I think I kind of argued myself back into agreeing with it being a TV show.
Well, here's the thing.
I think the more I talked, the more I was like, you know what? Yeah, it should be a TV show.
Here's what I'm going to say. If it was a TV show that was like 20 episodes, sure, be a show. But 4 episodes? Come on. What are we doing?
Yeah, because, I mean, you're already, if they're 20 minutes each, you're already at 80.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you couldn't squeeze in another, make a 120-minute movie. It's fine. Or, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
80-minute movie, 90-minute movie. That's what I meant.
Yeah. No, I feel you. But I could see both arguments for that, though. But I'm more of a movie guy.
I'm very excited for it, though. I think it looks rad from everything we've seen, the teams they've released, the imagery. I'm very excited to see like a full trailer. Because what I'm curious about, too, is if there's going to be and maybe this was the issue of why it became a TV show, is there a narrative through line? Are we watching something, or is it more of like a what if, where kind of the episodes are more segmented? Like, oh, we're going to follow this group this episode. Now we're going to jump over here, see what's going on over here in this section of the world. And never the two should meet.
Listen, Predator Killer of Killers. That's all I'm going to say. That worked really well.
I have not seen it yet.
Dude, you got to get on it. But it didn't necessarily, it had a narrative through line, but it wasn't a very straightforward one. And I think I thought it was great.
I'm going to finalize saying TV show if it's going to be weekly. If they drop them all at once, I'm going to vote they should have just stitched it together.
I'm going to say movie just because you could have gotten a lot more marketing behind it. You could have gotten Kevin behind it and really pushed it out.
Well, I think so too. I mean, even if you made it a movie, even just a short one at that, I feel like I'd be more inclined to toss it up every Halloween. Yeah. If I'm feeling like throwing something on versus 4 episodes of a TV show.
And it becomes a conversation. It becomes a conversation starter of oh, Marvel's made an animated film. Mm-hmm.
See how it goes, test the waters, and it could expand into something fun.
Yeah, for sure. But guys, what do you think? Do you think Marvel Zombies should have been a show or a movie? I reserve the right to change my answer after I watch it. But for now, I'm going to say a movie. I like this next one. This is very creative, Nicholas.
So my aunt actually gave me the question, and she said, this would be, I need your answer and your friend's answer who you do the podcast with. And I said, oh, well, lucky for you, we have a section where I get to ask questions.
And that question is listed right here on the screen for you. I'm going to cut back to us. What 3 film characters are helping you flee the country? You want to go first? You want me to go first?
I'll let you go first, unless you need some time to think. I've known the question ahead of time.
All right, I think I got 3.
Oh boy, all right.
I'm going to go, just because it was on the mind earlier, but I'm going to go Jason Bourne.
Okay.
Because dude's got so many passports, so I know I'm good on the passport game. He can get me out of here. Easy. I'm going to take Superman.
Oh, how convenient. He can get you out of the country pretty quick.
He can get me out of there real quick. But the passports from Jason Bourne can keep me in the country. Superman can get me there. But let's say all else fails. Oh, you're going to get so pissed at me for this. Let's say all else fails. There's nothing left to do. Both Jason Bourne and Superman have failed me, and I need somebody who's going to use unconventional methods to secretly get me to where I need to be, or, better yet, have to steal something to get me where I need to be, and that person is Ben Gates from National Treasure. My 3 characters are Jason Bourne, Superman, and Ben Gates. They'll get me out of the fucking country. Back to you.
What a pairing. My God. If Superman fails me, I know Nick Cage has my back.
That's the whole point of the game, baby.
Oh man. All right. I don't think I'm gonna go Superman level route, but I think so. I'm gonna go John Wick for protection.
Okay. So did Hannah in the live chat.
Yep, I'm gonna go John Wick for protection. I'm gonna go Cameron Poe from Con Air because how can I not? He is a trained soldier whose body is a lethal weapon. You have to remember this fact. He understands the inner workings of planes, and he successfully crash landed a plane. Well, technically, Swamp Man thing did, but that's neither here nor there. Nick Cage was on the plane and stopped it and saved the day. And my last one, I'm gonna go Luther from Mission Impossible.
Oh, dude,
because he calms
that's
me.
good.
And I need him to give me the Ethan speech, and I will make him call me Ethan. Because Nick just won't have the same punch.
No.
And, he's got his computer skills, he's got his tech skills, and he's got the moral compass to get me through all of this. And
damn it, he's going to be sitting in a chair.
and he's going to be sat the whole goddamn time. So I'm going John Wick, Luther, and Cameron Poe. And I just also want to see all three of those people interacting. There would not be many words spoken if you actually think about how much they talk in the movies. That is my group. And I think both ways we're getting successfully out of the country.
Hannah puts in the live chat, Bourne, Superman, and Ben Gates are a dream blunt rotation.
And Hannah, what are your three? We need to know. We'll give you some time to chat on it.
Yes, if you're in the live chat, who are your three film characters?
I'm loving, and if honestly, bonus points if you can fit in a different Nick Cage character and give some solid reason for it.
Yes.
I would love to see it. There's so many great Nick Cage characters you could choose from too. I mean, Big Daddy's right there too.
Yeah. Ghost Rider could probably get you out of the country.
Yeah. That's right.
He can get you out of this realm.
I started thinking of the superhero route too. I wanted to go, some honorable mentions on my list were Natasha Romanoff, the Black Widow, Laurie Holden. I thought not Holden. That's an actor. Laurie.
I was gonna say
that's from Walking Dead. Laurie Holden. What the hell is Jamie Lee Curtis's name in Halloween? Laurie
Strode.
Laurie Strode. I was close enough. Laurie Strode was one I thought about. Katniss Everdeen, if we had to get into the survival side of things.
Sidney Prescott could get you out of the country.
Sidney Prescott could get you out of the country. That's fair. Yeah. I don't know. Those were you have any honorable mentions?
No, but I'm trying to think of three characters who would absolutely not let me leave the country. Right now, all I got is the mayor from Jaws. I got him. Who else is not letting me leave? Joaquin Phoenix from Eddington.
So now you're just looking at cops and sheriffs.
Yeah. And hold on, let's go outside of the box. Who's preventing me from leaving?
John McClane.
You're right. I think you're right. John McClane. Man, to see the mayor from Jaws and John McClane interact, what a time that would be. What a time that would be.
I mean, there's so many different interesting. You could do a whole superhero version of this. You could do an action movie. You could do a horror movie. I mean, I could just go. I want the beekeeper helping me. I want Hutch from Nobody 2, which you could watch our review on the channel. Shameless plug. I want Gabriel from Malignant. That's a big one.
Gabriel.
Oh, all right. Hold on. We got them going here. Yeah.
Hannah's got her pick. Ooh, John Wick, Sarah Connor, and Ellen Ripley. Now, that's a dream blunt rotation if I'm the blunt, if you know what I'm saying. But that is awesome. That is... Thank you for laughing at that. That is... Yeah, they're going to get you the fuck out of the country for sure. Sarah Connor alone could get you out. No problem.
Hannah may have won with the best answers there.
Ellen Ripley will get you off the planet. Yeah.
Yeah, and that might be good to have too if things go really sideways.
Damn it, now I want to see John Wick fight a Terminator.
I want to see John Wick fight everything.
And a xenomorph. Oh, that'd be good. Anyway, guys, we're going to move on to our last thing here. But if you come up with 3 movie characters that you think could get you out of the country, let us know in the comments below as we move on to the box office.
The box office.
Nick, we had another one of those weeks where we look like we don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
Yeah, it was pretty rough.
But I'm happy with the final results, which we're going to get to. But it doesn't look very good. We didn't get any of the first 3 right. We both got 4 right, and I got 5 right. But it looks pretty bad. It looks pretty bad. Let me go ahead and pull up the actual results here from last weekend. And I'm pleasantly surprised. I'm very pleasantly surprised. Coming in number 1 last weekend was Weapons, making $43.5 million in its opening weekend. Freakier Friday came in second, making $28.5 million in its opening weekend. Fantastic Four, The First Steps, came in third with $15 million in its third weekend. The Bad Guys 2 came in fourth with $10 million in its second weekend. And The Naked Gun came with $8 million in its second weekend. Superman came in sixth with $7 million. Jurassic World in seventh with $4 million. Now, let's dive into these numbers a little bit more, shall we? Got some interesting stuff to look at here. Weapons has $108 million worldwide already, made on a budget of $38 million. It's already 2.9 times the budget. We're already in profit, making shmoney from here on out. First of all, that's almost $40 million on the budget. We're going to call it 40 for a second. Barbarian was made for a budget of 4.
That's
and
crazy.
Then he went from 4 to 40, and it's still profitable, baby. Good for Zach Cregger. Good for him. Freakier Friday now has $55 million worldwide on a budget of 42, modestly budgeted. It may struggle to get to profitability, just depends on how it goes from week to week here, but if it can stay up there and stay loud and proud, it should do fine. Never underestimate the mother-daughter movie audience. They always tend to come out. Fantastic Four First Steps now has $442 million worldwide on a budget of 200. It's at 2.2. It's probably going to just hit over that profitability mark. I think it'll end up around somewhere between 5 and 600 million worldwide. And while it's probably under expectations for Marvel, it will be the highest Marvel movie of the year. So they are on an upward trajectory going into Spider-Man next year. And I think Spider-Man, that's going to make some fucking money, everybody. So get ready for that.
Oh, yeah.
The Bad Guys 2 now has $93 million worldwide on a budget of 80, so it's just over 1.2 times the budget. Might not be profitable, but it's going to be over 100 million probably tomorrow. The Naked Gun now has $60 million worldwide. Good for The Naked Gun. I don't have a budget listed here. I don't know what it is, but can't imagine. I'm going to guess it's around 30 to 40. It might be more than that, but 60 million for an original comedy. Well, not original, but a new comedy theatrically is very nice to see. Superman now has $586 million worldwide. It's going to be crossing 600 million before the end of its run. 335 million of that is domestic, which is a great domestic number, and it's past Jurassic World to be not the highest, because I believe Lilo and Stitch and Minecraft are still higher, but it has passed Jurassic World domestically. Not worldwide, which we'll fucking get to in a second. But domestically, it has passed Jurassic World and has made 2.6 times the budget. Profitability for the DCU. Great job, everybody.
Great start.
Jurassic World Rebirth now has $810 million worldwide. Dinosaurs just keep it coming. It's at 329 domestically and 480 internationally. Holy shit. And it has made 3.6 times the $225 million budget. While I don't love the movie, I'm glad that Gareth Edwards has a box office win on his hands. He deserves it. He's a good guy. Nicholas.
Yes.
Interesting box office stuff going on. It is now time to get into our predictions for next week.
Oh, boy. So I was just looking up what's come out. Nobody 2 is the big release coming out this week. And then there are a couple re-releases. There's a 4K restoration of Shin Godzilla, which is in theaters. And there's also the anniversary re-release of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the original one. So I don't know if those are going to affect your box office choices at all, how you think you're doing, but I wanted you to be aware, because sometimes we miss those re-releases and they end up sneaking up on us. But
I think if any of them have a chance to get in the top 5, it's going to be Shin Godzilla, just because Number 5 last weekend was 8 million, and I think Shin Godzilla might have like 5 in it. And, maybe that'll get it. But do you want to go first or you want me to go first?
You can go first.
Okay. Number 1, I'm going to do a repeat of Weapons. Number 2, I'm going to go Freakier Friday. Number 3, I'll go Nobody 2. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to do very well financially, even though it's really good, and I think that you should go see it, everybody. 4, I'll do Fantastic Four. But will Bad Guys 2 come out, or will it be Godzilla? I'll go Bad Guys 2 5th. I'll leave that in 5th. I think
Okay.
I could come to regret that, but we'll see.
So you have Weapons, Freakier Friday, Nobody 2, F4, and Bad Guys.
Yep.
I'm gonna go for a Weapons repeat as well. I'm gonna go Weapons number 1.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give the benefit of the doubt to Nobody. I'm gonna go Nobody 2, number 2.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna copy everything else at that point. I'm gonna go Freakier Friday in 3rd, which we swap those 2. Then I'm gonna go F4, and then I'm gonna go Bad Guys 2.
Okay.
That is my prediction. Hopefully, we do a little better than these last few weeks. We have not been at the top of our game this week. But it's great to see the unpredictability because the movies were kind of writing off. We had Weapons each in 3rd.
Yeah.
And it came in number 1 by like a significant margin. So I'm every time I've been wrong, I've been very happy that I've been wrong.
Yes, very pleasantly wrong. And honestly, 28 million for Freaky Friday is pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, too, with the budget, too. I'm sure that's all Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, probably. But, it is what it is. But yeah. Guys, leave your top 5 predictions for next week's box office. And if you're right, we'll shout you out on the show. Anything to say before we go, Nicholas?
No, we got a bunch of reviews coming out on the channel. We have 2 right now that are current and recent with Weapons and Nobody 2. We got some more coming down over the next few days. And leave your top 5, like Dalton just said. And also let us know what 3 characters are helping you leave the country. That'll be the community question for the day. And if we get some good comments about it, we'll pull them up and talk about them on the next stream.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you on the next episode.